Atlantia Viver, Atlantia Vincer, Atlantia Victor. My dear friends at AMD, at the American Micro Devices, I'm Luciani Leia, related to the great Energy of a great Eliasson, Tsar of Holy Mother Russia, Great Prince of Ardel, Grand Prince of Velada, and Ktai of Hardel, and number 1 in the Council of Kings, number 2 in the Council of Heroes of Macedonia. I own 69% of the shares at AMD through my intermediaries, and I wish now to congratulate you on making the processor with 64 cores and 128 threads, the Threadripper and the EPYC processors. These processors were very nice a couple of years ago, but now Intel is threatening our position again with Alder Lake, and they have processors with 16 cores and 24 threads, 8 plus 8 cores, 8 efficiency cores and 8 performance cores, and they have prices close to our price of about $800 for the processor with 16 cores and 32 threads, the AMD 5950X. Also, our processors with 64 cores and 128 threads cannot be found to be sold in Romania. The maximum that you can go is 16 cores and 32 threads. Let us count again the number of cores. On 130 nanometers we had 1 core. On 90 nanometers we had 2 cores. On 65 nanometers we had 4 cores. On 45 nanometers we had 8 cores. On 32 nanometers we had 16 cores. On 22 nanometers we had 32 cores. On 14 nanometers we had 64 cores. And on 10 nanometers we are supposed to have 128 cores. On 7 nanometers we are supposed to have 256 cores, and on 5 nanometers we are supposed to have 512 cores. And we are producing now processors on 5 nanometers at TSMC in Taiwan, Taiwan's semiconductors manufacturing company. And I wish for all these processors to have 512 cores or at least 256 cores. I congratulate you on the fact that you are putting 2 threads on the same core, so we can now say that we have a 128 core processor. Now I am waiting for about several months ago. I am waiting for a new processor with 128 cores and 256 threads to appear at AMD to be able to congratulate you again, but these processors have not appeared yet. Perhaps later this year, later in 2022. We must not abandon the fight, because IBM and Intel are not abandoning the fight, so neither do we. We should have 1024 cores on 3 nanometers and 2048 cores on 2 nanometers on 4096 cores on 1 nanometer. On the same time, we must also work hard to make processor with the Fusion technology, which combine graphics and on-die processor, on-die CPUs and on-die graphics on the same die, on the same chip. This will be great, and the AMD graphics have been great for all the gamers in the world. They are better than Intel graphics, and I congratulate you for making AMD processors with great integrated graphics. Having said that, I wish you a very good, and we must also make that virtual company for making servers online, putting servers online for the people who wish to rent servers. Goodbye, my dear friends.